Hey. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Welcome to an aircraft taking off right at the time that I start going live. Yeah, it's fun stuff. I'll get that intro rolling, please, and we'll get started. Thanks to that airplane, we're doing a little different. I'm working on this guy here. That's our 132nd scale P-40E Warhawk. Right here. Last time we got our fuselage put together, and she's looking good. I spent a little bit of time doing some sanding on our seams going across there, and a little bit on our seams that divide the tail section from the main fuselage. As I mentioned before, these panel lines, you're not supposed to have a big seam going all the way around here like this. So I kind of sanded it down as best as I could. Like I mentioned before, this thing is going to be a green and brown camouflage, similar to the pattern you see in the picture, but I'm pretty sure a lot of that will hide any, seams that are not supposed to be there, right? So what are we going to do today? Well, we've got to finish off a little bit here, then we're going to do some landing gear bay and the wings. So let's change the camera and see what is going to be involved with that, and we will get started. Yeah. Okay. So we've got this stuff on. We've got this front part on right here. Okay, we did that last time. Our exhaust ports and the panel in front of it, and the front chin, that's in. Okay, so we got a piece that's supposed to go on here, that's going to be 07, and then we got a K4 and K3 got to go on each side here. So first off, let's find our O tree. Well, I found the K, that's right there. I'm going to grab our O. Where's my O? There's my O. Okay, so I need 07. 6, 9, 10, 7, right here. Okay. Let's get this guy. Right there. 07. Not sure the purpose of this piece, why they made this separate, but they did. It's okay. Get her put on. Just goes into this little spot right there. It's like I gotta clean up my nub a little bit better. Although I thought I cleaned it up good. She's a tight fit. There we go. Unique little piece. It kind of sticks up a little bit. It's straight. It's flat across there. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that. I'm going to assume it is. I don't know these planes that well, so I don't know. But I think it is supposed to be flat across and sticking up. A little bit proud on that one edge. So, with assuming that it's supposed to be like that, I'm going to leave that sticking up just that little bit. See how I've got that there? Sticking up a little bit proud. I don't know if it's supposed to or not. I'm guessing it is. I don't know. In any case, that's how she is on my plane. Now, K3 and 4. That's these guys. Already painted this in here in preparation for painting later. Simply because I had my chromate green already to go. There we go. So that's the last pieces off this sprue. I'll just do this and and that'll make it a little easier. These two are going to go together, like so. If I can get them together, there we go. And they're going to go just like this. And then plop down on here somehow. Maybe like this. Something like that. Sort of, kinda. I do have it the correct way, so the side with the wall at the back is supposed to go towards the back. In any case, I gotta clean up my nubs here. Nubs on this side, not as important, except for fitment. So I'll just give them a quick little scrub. Make sure she's going to fit flush like she's supposed to. Okay. And that's probably all she's going to need. So this is going to be a tight fit because this has to move forward a little bit to fit in there. From what I can tell, it's not supposed to sit like that. It's supposed to sit in behind the seat. Behind the bulkhead. That's what it feels like. Like this. It's actually kind of an inner channel. Yeah. It is, this side goes behind the bulkhead, no problem. This side doesn't really want to. So I'm going to carve this one on this edge here. I'm going to carve it a little bit of an angle, kind of chamfered, if you will, just to kind of help it get in behind the seat. It'll probably be easier once I've got glue on it. That'll probably help also. There we go. We're in, just like that. Okay. We're in, just like that. All right. Glue everywhere now. There. There. Gotta go across here, that's important. On the bottom here. On the bottom there. Good. I'm going to do a little bit here on my seat. It's not really the seat, it's the bulkhead. I keep calling it the seat, but it's the bulkhead. Rear bulkhead, that's what I would call it. There we go. We're in. We're in and we're done. Okay? Just like that. Depending on what my rear window is going to look like, I might need to tidy this section up here and get this smooth. We will see. But this is it for the fuselage for now. We're going to put this aside and we're going to take a look at our landing gear bay. All off of our A tree. These pieces right there. So let's find our A tree. That's this guy right here. So basically, if I flip this over, it's going to be these two pieces, this channel here, and it looks like these guys. At least these two, maybe A. We will see. We will see. You know, I was thinking about it the other day. Somebody had asked me before the Christmas break, not that I had a break or anything, but before Christmas, somebody had asked me about doing a video series of the various tools that I use in my builds. And I think I said at the time that I would probably do it, and now I just realized I have not done it. So we do need these two, A24 and 25. And then we need A32 and 33, which are these two, not these two. All right, and that's going to be it for now. Okay. So, if I know anything, we need to clean up our nubs, otherwise nothing will fit together properly. So, nubs cleaning commencing. That one's done. These ones, the nubs are on these parts, which probably just like fit through and then you don't even notice them, so probably the nubs don't need cleaning on these ones. But for our bay doors, or technically these are the bay roof. Even with these, the fit probably is not going to be that bad. Okay, so they show it like this, and of course they show it upside down, which does not help. But we're going to take them, they're going to go like this. This guy is going to go in on the back. Which way does this go? Looks like this. Let's see how tight that fits. It's a snug fit, it's not super tight. Okay, like that. Then we got A33, which is going to be, if I'm looking at this right, this one. It's going to go in. No, I was not looking at it right. This guy. It's going to go in right there. This. Just like that. So I'm going to put some glue on him. Okay. Just like that. And then we got A25. A25, let's get these correct here. Yeah. No. Yeah, that's right. So he's going to go in like this. Let's get him lined up. Does not seem to fit, which means I'm probably using the wrong one. Yes, so Hasegawa was very kind in doing 24 and 25 with different spacing, so it won't fit in the wrong one. It won't. You cannot get it wrong. So that's nice. Thank you very much, Hasegawa. That was a very nice thought. They must have known I'm going to have guys like me taking the stuff off of the sprue and not paying attention to the numbering. Okay, so there's one. Let's do our other one. This guy here. Wrong. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go that way. There we go. I just didn't have it lined up. Because you know what? I'm not perfect. I don't always get it right the first time. You guys see me make plenty of mistakes. Which is why I keep telling you guys, I'm not a professional modeler. I make mistakes. I put things on backwards sometimes. That happens. Okay, so we've got the sidewalls of our little pods made. Now we have this guy to go in. And which way does he go? Well, he's got a couple of little details on this side here. And this side's basically blank, there's no detail. So that tells you which side goes where, right? So, take this, and that's going to line up on that little wall there. That's nice. Just like this. Put some glue along the bottom back here. And glue here on that wall. Just like that. Okay. And grab this guy. Similar fashion. Push that down in. Good. Nice and solid. Good job. Go in there. And then finally get this wall glued. Alright, so there's our pods. Just like that. I will say they go together quite nicely. There we go. So we'll set that down and we'll see what's next here. I'm going to grab our lower wing. We actually need both. So I'll get them both out of the box here. So here's our main lower wing. So we'll get this off of the sprue. There we go. Okay, there's that. And we'll get these off because we are going to need them soon. So, might as well. Get these off of here now. All right. Now, before we get into doing anything, we're going to make sure nubs are cleaned up and nice and smooth. Imperfections and all that stuff, especially since we're going to be putting the two halves together. We're going to make sure we don't have any nubs sitting here that are going to be interfering. Everything's got to be nice and smooth and clean. Make sure it's all going to fit. Backside not so much, at least not having to worry about now, because we have to worry about this matching on the fuselage later. Of course, this is where this file is kind of hard to do because it's a curved edge. There we go. A little bit of a nip right there. There we go. Okay. Before we get into anything, I'm going to do the same on our upper wing halves. Especially on the upper side, because really when this thing's sitting down and you've got it on display, this is the side you're going to see most. Warhawk, that's right, P-40E Warhawk. Still feel that one. Basically, if you can feel it, you're probably going to be able to see it at some point. There we go. Nice and smooth all around. This one back here is nothing, probably not going to interfere with anything. Okay, just going to go like that. Again, you know, I love this razor file. Definitely worth the money. I recommend it highly. Cleaning up these nubs like nothing else does. Got a bit of flash right in here. Probably interfere with fitment later on the fuselage. So let's nip that in the bud right now. We don't want no flash on the inside here. Yeah, I can feel it on this one too. So let's get rid of that, shall we? Okay, so these are going to go on here, just not right now. Okay, so I'll just put these over here for now. Now let's see, let's turn this around here. I'm going to grab A28 and 29. And I got an option here. You paint this an external color. We're going to paint V3. V is our clear sprue, I believe. One of our two clear sprues. One just has canopies on it. So we want V3, right? Yeah, it's this guy right here. That guy there. He's got a little nub on him, so let's get rid of that. Okay, and I'm going to put him on top of the paint jar, just so I don't lose him. I need A28 and 29. Off of our A tree, 28 and 29. That's these two guys right here. These kind of have nubs in a bit of an unfortunate spot right here. And right there. And these guys, I'm trying to figure out the way they're supposed to go. It's supposed to go in right here. But how do they go? Kind of looks like it goes like this in here. Is that right? This is a really awkward thing. It looks like it's supposed to fit in right like this. Okay, so we line up our lines, get it all lined up, and flush, and that's how it sits. That's flush there and there. That's a really awkward piece, really. But it's in, so kind of strange, but that's the way it is. Here we go. She's in. She's in, she's on. She's glued. Here we go. Okay. That is A29. So let's now focus on A28. This nub cleaned off. And this one here. And then our clear piece is supposed to go in here. That's this little guy we got over here. And they do show it kind of on an angle. So let's see if he fits in the hole. No, due to the nub that was on him, he won't fit. This is one of those pieces that historically I wind up dropping them on the carpet and then they're gone. And then I never do get to install them. There we go. He's in. Trying to get him to push all the way in there. There we go. He's in. I am going to put a little glue. There we go. So our clear piece is in there now. Just like that. Okay. Okay, there we go. Now, similar fashion with this guy. Goes like this. Kind of sits in there. This one seems to fit a little looser, which means I can play around with the fitment a little easier on them than this other guy. Oh, this other guy kind of moved a little bit. It's looking pretty good like that. Okay, I think that's good enough for glue. Put some glue here and in here. Glue on this edge. Glue in there. Okay, so there's those pieces. Now with those two in, we can put our landing gear bay in. And it looks like all we do is just place it down in there. Looks like we've got little guidelines here. Maybe a guide hole. Oh, we've got to drill some holes. We're going to put some holes in the bottom here. Obviously these are going to be for some bombs and stuff like that. So we got a hole here and here. Here and here, we've got, in the middle here, this one and this one, and then we got 1, 2, 3. Oh, here, 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 and here. So lots of little holes. They look like different sizes. So let's see. That's a good size for these. Bing, just like that. Now remember, don't put your finger right directly where the drill bit's going to go through. You do that, you're going to be going for the band-aids, having just stabbed your finger. So you don't want to do that. Like I just did. Just like that. Pricked my finger. After telling you guys, don't do this, what do? I go and do it. Now this bit's a little bit too big for these holes. I don't want to do the holes too big. I would rather have the holes just a little bit small. Let me see, I've got a bit that's just a little smaller. I got a smaller chuck. Bigger chuck. I think this is my smallest chuck. Which one of these is bigger? They're like the exact same size. I got two drill bits the same size, guys. But I think these are too big for these. It's like it's just a hair. You know what? It's close enough. So if it's a little too big, big deal. That's what glue's for, right? Okay, right through there. Put my bits back in. That, put my bits away. So I can put that, put my little spinner thing on there. Makes life easier. There we go. Okay, got our holes drilled through there. Let's clean these up a little bit here. Now what I like to do is just take my drill bit and just kind of deburr the edge a little bit like that. That way, even if it's not quite the correct size, it helps get the piece in there. There we go. There we go. Holes are done. Okay. Got our holes done, so now we can go on to putting this in. Just going to line up right there. Supposedly. It's not quite. I either don't have it lined up where I'm supposed to. It looks like, see, on here they show, maybe it's supposed to go like this. Right in, just in that spot. But it's not quite, it doesn't line up quite right. I'm going to have to clamp the wings down on it. Because these kind of, there's no positive placement for these guys. They just kind of are there. So, we'll put some glue here first. Get that lined up there. And then I'm going to have to grab clamps. And those aren't long enough. I'm going to have to grab these. And these are pretty heavy duty. I'd rather not use these, but I haven't got much choice. Okay, so clamp them down and glue them along the edge there and there. And on our front edge too. Go. Okay. I suppose another thing I could have done is actually put the wing on and clamp the wing down, which probably I'm going to have to do. But we'll leave this for a minute. We'll let that sit for a minute. I'm sure it'll pull up, but it won't be so eager to raise now. At least after a minute or two, because that's all it's going to be next, is putting the wings, the upper halves of the wings down. I'm just going to get rid of my mess on here. So while we're waiting for that, let's take a look. We're going to leave this for a minute or 5 before we put the wings on. Let's look at next. So we got our tail fins. So we can deal with our tail fins, our tail wings and our rudders, all off of the J tree. Our 6 pieces, 2, 4, and 6. Interesting little nub there. Couple little extra nubs they've put on them. So we've got some extra little tidbits that come off. These are pretty straightforward, and you just line them up and put them together. Just like that. Yep, that's nice and easy. Everything fits good there. I don't know why I always find getting glue right along the edge of wings are a little bit hard. These are nice. They don't got no wanting to separate anywhere. It's just a nice tight fit. How about you? You gonna go together just as nice? Looks like it. It looks like these two are actually going to intersect when we put them through like this, like that. And of course I will have to clean up my nubs. That's a necessity. I'll never get away with not cleaning up my nubs. There we go. Is that one done? And then we got our rudder. See, Hasegawa went the route of molding in this hinge action here. Tamiya actually had you assemble them from wire. I say Tamiya, but I'm talking about when I built the 1/32 scale P-51 Mustang, or sorry, F-51. It's a little modern, so it was a late build, so by then they were using the F designation. In case you ever wondered why modern aircraft have like an F-15, F-14, they all get the F, and then in the 40s, World War IIs, they're all calling P something, P-40, P-51. The P's stood for pursuit, and after a certain time they decided they're not going to call them pursuit planes, they're going to call them fighters. And so that's why. That's where you get the P's and the F's and why they're different. Okay, so those were nice and easy and quick, and that was done. So let's go back and we'll do our wings. These have had a minute or two to dry now. Let's take one off. I know it's going to lift right away, or pretty much right away. So let's find the wing that's supposed to go on this side, right here. And let's see, let's get our clamp off. It didn't lift. So that's a happy accident. And the wing fits nice. The wing fits pretty good. No problem at all. I am going to put some clamps down though, because, well, I'm going to need them. At least on the edges anyway. Maybe one here too. Let's see if I can get away with one of these. Doink. Yeah, that works. Okay, let's put some glue on there. Let's try to go along the edge. Here I am doing all my gluing off camera. It would have been cool to have the actual control surfaces separate on this kit, but obviously they chose not to do that. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's not the most detailed kit, but it's not bad by any stretch of the word. Okay, moving around to the front. I'm going to want a clamp here. But not heavy-handed. Well, I might be able to just put this back like this. That works. We're actually touching on our thing there, so we can utilize that. Get in here and then do our front edge. Bit of a gap here, so can do that. And there's one wing, one side done, or at least one side glued and holding. Not bad at all. Okay, let's switch over to this side. That off of there. This lined up. And since I've got it lined up, this can just go right back there. Sorry guys if I keep on applying glue off the camera. I'll try and be a little bit more mindful about that. Clamps on there. Try and hold it, flip it around. There are little pins inside to help guide it. If you don't have them lined up, they're not going to hold, and you will get a bit of a separation. Kind of have that going on right here. But my clamps should be able to overcome that once I get the glue inside there. One more to go here. There we go. Okay. This is pretty much where we're going to finish for today. Well, I'm not going to put the wings on. This has to set, okay? But while this is setting, I'm going to put this aside. We flip the page over. We can put our tail fins on. Okay. So we got this guy. It's going to go in like this. I don't know if there is a left and a right. They both look, well, maybe there is. There's a little square detail right here on this one, and there isn't on this one. So let's see. I don't see the square detail at all. So that means this goes like this, right? Because if I flip this, oh no, yeah, square detail goes down. I'm just going to say that the square detail goes down. So this guy goes in like this. But it looks like these are going to have to go into this, so the tail's rudder is going to have to go in first. But before I even do this, I've got to clean up my nubs on these. Otherwise, they're not going to fit at all. And because I'm getting ahead of myself here. Alignment is not 100% perfect on this, so it could benefit from a little bit more glue and making sure this is aligned. I'm going to use my quick set. Let's close this one up. Just to get a little on the bottom here, I got a little bit of a gap. To go together and act like one piece. Okay, so this guy goes in here like this. Actually, it looks like I got a nub I need to clean up out of there. Nub that I missed. So unlike the Tamiya kit, or unlike the F51 I built, the rudder's not going to be able to move. You're not going to be able to move this. So I've got to glue it. It's got to be glued in. And it's unfortunate, but that's okay. Not every kit allows you to play with your stuff. So I just push it in so I got no gaps, and there we go. Tail rudder's in. So now we can put in our first elevator control surface, if she'll line up. There we go, really tight fit. Really snug, but fits nice and flush. We'll see now. Now that I've just looked at the second one, I gotta make sure your nubs on these pieces are clean and not going to interfere with the fit. Because they are going to touch. When they go inside, they're going to go, whoops, they're going to go like this, go all the way. And so I don't want this to interfere. I don't want them stopping each other. So this one seems to be just a hair long. I'm just gonna make sure. I shave off, you know, 1/16 of an inch off of that. Just fine. Okay, so let's go back with this one. Shove that back in. There we go. And then this guy. And if everything is happy, it should go together. There we go. Snug fit, but it goes. It's together. Very snug. Snug but together, and that's what counts. So let's get some glue just so that this stays together. Bit of a gap on the bottom. As you can clearly see, I got a pretty good panel line going across there. So let's just see. Tighten that up a little bit. I think if I tighten it up at the bottom, it's going to create one at the top. I'm not going to worry about it. I think that's fine. Good enough. How often am I going to look at that and say, look at this panel line on that? That's huge. Well, probably never. Especially since when I get paint on there, it's not going to be too bad at all. So I'm not really going to worry about that too much. It is what it is. So I got a little bit of a panel line there. Big deal. It's actually not that bad at all. So yeah, that's basically it for today. I've got to let my other wings dry before I attempt to put them on the plane. So we're going to do that next time. We'll put the main wings on. We'll put our guns on the front of them, and yeah, and then we'll see what's next. Looks like a bunch of detail stuff underneath. Gonna have to sort of pick and choose what I do as far as that's concerned, because we got painting that's going to be involved with that, right? So what's going to be interfering with the paint job? What am I going to have to mask if I put it on there and then paint later? It's possible that a lot of this stuff is going to be painted the same color as the bottom, but yeah, landing gear bay doors obviously are not. Yeah, so all those holes I drilled through, those are for either the gas tank or the bomb mounts, whichever you choose to do. This plane either had a bomb or it had a gas tank. I don't know which one I'm going to do for this particular build. If I'm going to do a bomb or a gas tank, I don't know. I'll probably just do the gas tank, right? The bomb's kind of like, what's the point? One single bomb? It's kind of dumb. But anyway, I guess that's what they had. Anyway, guys, that's where I'm going to leave it for now. And I invite you to please hit that like button and hit subscribe down there, or down there, wherever it is. I think it's down there, isn't it? Yeah, hit that subscribe button. You know, we're almost at 1,000 subscribers, guys. We're this close, we're almost there. And then once that happens, I'm gonna start building a Porsche with my fiance and do a whole collaboration doing that. So please hit subscribe, guys. The sooner that happens, the sooner I get to build a Porsche. So yeah, let's do that, eh? And well, besides that, I guess we'll see you all in the next one.